and we are being recorded. So I'm going to share the screen if that's okay. Can everybody see my screen all right? Okay, good. So I hope everyone's doing well and dealing with the weather as we do from time to time here in Wisconsin. Thank you everybody for your efforts and for your participation. As I was telling a few people before the meeting started, if I have to go on mute and stop my camera, I don't have a furnace working right now and the technician's supposed to be coming in, so there may just be a few logistics, and that happens, I apologize. So I'll call to order. And again, welcome. Let's go and start with a roll call. And if I don't get your name properly, then please, we'll go ahead and do this. I don't know if I can see everybody. It looks like I can. So I'll go ahead and start myself. And then if I call you out, or if I don't have your name because you come in as initials or whatnot, please introduce yourself. So Stephen Senor, Chair of the LEPC. So thank you again for everyone for your time and for your excellent participation. Kristen?
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Bunch, and I am the Program Assistant for Dunn County Emergency Management.
Thank you, Kristen. Melissa?
Hi, Melissa Gillenbach, Director of the Emergency Management Department and also Emergency Communications.
Great, thanks, Melissa. Brian Johnson?
Good morning, I'm Brian Johnson, the Chair of the Dunn County Highway Department.
Thank you, Brian. Kate, once again.
Kate Carlson with HelloFresh, Vice Chair.
Thanks, Kate, and welcome. Brad, 3M.
Brad Ludke, 3M nominee.
Okay, thanks, Brad. Welcome, Mary Jane.
Hi, Mary Jane, Representative Clint Moses. He should be hopping on any minute now. I might be doing some snow plowing right now, but he should be hopping on any minute.
What a day to do snow plowing. Thank you. And hi, KT, welcome back.
Gallagher with the Dunn County Health Department.
Great, thank you. Matthew?
Matthew Crow with Cardinal Float Glass, Environmental Manager.
Thank you, Matthew. And I'm sorry, M. Sampson?
Hi, Mike Sampson with Menominee Police Department.
Thank you, Mike. All right, Krista?
Hi, I'm Krista Vinn, and I work for Dunn County IT.
Thank you, Krista. Great job. Denny?
Good morning, Denny Class with Menominee Fire here. And I've also got Matt Poliak, who is going to be our new hazmat officer. So this is his first LEPC.
Well, great. Welcome, Denny, and welcome, Matt. And Byron Morris?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Brian Morris, Dunn County Aries Races.
Thank you, Brian. Jenny?
Hi, good morning. Jenny Legaspi with the American Red Cross.
Thank you. Did I miss anybody?
Hi, I'm Autumn Cernaus. I'm with Dunn County Health Department, and I'm assigned to Emergency Preparedness, and this is my first LEPC meeting.
Welcome, Autumn. Thank you for joining. So I didn't see you in the chat.
Yeah, and Dunn County, Dustin Binder with Dunn County Highway.
Thank you, Dustin. Apologize for not seeing you in the chat. Anyone else that may have been missed?
Quentin Papazon from Sand Creek Fire.
Hi, Quentin. Thank you for coming in. Anyone else? Okay, well, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. So after our call of order and our roll call, we then go to the review of the previous minutes. I can pull it up if you want to see them, or you should have a copy in the invite. So why don't we take a couple minutes to, if you haven't done so already, review them, please. And then if there are any comments, we can certainly entertain them or answer questions. If not, we will entertain a motion for accepting the minutes. And if you can see my screen, they should be right here.
I move we approve.
All right, who was that, please?
Brian Johnson.
Thank you, Brian. Does anyone need more time to look over the minutes? All right, seeing that, thank you, Brian, for your motion. Is there a second, please?
This is KT. I'll second.
Thank you, KT. Anyone who is not in favor, please indicate by either visually or give me a thumbs down, which you would do normally, or anything else for that matter. And if there are any objections, we can certainly entertain them. If not, the motion will be approved. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, if you can see here, and I can blow it up a little bit, would be public comments. So are there any comments, any questions that have come up since the last meeting that we've had?
I did not receive any in the public comments email.
Okay. Thank you. Any comments that anyone like to bring up right now? Okay, seeing as there are none, let's go ahead and now move to the Menominee Fire Department Hazmat Team update between Denny and perhaps Melissa. Can you give us an update, please? Matt?
Yeah,
hi, this is Matt here. Took over for Tim Kleski, who left earlier this year. So far, in my tenure, we've gotten a few new tools to use for our hazmat team. One is an explosive gas meter. That's a much more specific tool than our other meters are. More of a in simpler terms, it's more of like a magnifying glass gas sniffer for us. As we used to have 4 gas meters that detected explosive environments, and this is more something similar to what Excel would carry to detect small leaks. So it's a very small and specialized meter that we have. We actually ordered a second one the other day, one for each of our first out engines. So that's what's new with our equipment. We did have a fuel spill call last week. I believe it was December 7th, out near exit 45. Semi saddle tank and fuel lines got damaged. We were able to use our tank trap, which is a 150 gallon. Basically, it's a mini pool that we throw underneath the saddle tank and the fuel lines, and we're able to catch quite a bit of fuel. So that worked out the way it was supposed to. Other than that, things are pretty much status quo.
Thank you, Denny. Any questions for Denny?
And that was Matt.
Oh, I'm sorry. Any questions for Matt?
Yep.
I apologize.
No, not a problem.
Melissa, were you going to add something too?
Nope. I
Oh,
think that
okay.
I'll do the spill report when it gets down to me, because we did have a few more, but
Great.
yeah.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. And Denny, apologize for not getting the names correct. So let's go ahead and move on to the number 6 item, Coordinator of Information Report. And we'll start first with the budget review.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know that there was a little bit of a change in our budget for 2023. We have added some additional hours to the emergency coordinator position, and that was approved by the county board in November. So we will have 5 additional hours a week for the coordinator position. Previously, it was a 20-hour-a-week position. So we will have a little bit more to work with for that position. Other than that, there really isn't a lot of budgetary impacts at this point. As far as the spills and claims, we didn't have any really spills that were noteworthy as far as receiving claims or having to work on any claims. But we did have 4 recently, and one was on a rental property here in the city of Menominee. It was wastewater. There was gray water that was being released through a drain line and ended up down in a stream bank. That one has been taken care of. The other one we had was in October on the 25th. was a bill in the village of Knapp. Someone was burning illegal materials. It was like building materials, insulation, treated lumber, plastic, siding, etc. That spill has been closed. We did have a spill at the Ellsworth Creamery. It was brine salt water, approximately 500 to 1,000 gallons, and it was an equipment failure, and that has been mitigated. And then just the spill that Matt talked about on the interstate on the 7th of December. So that's all I really have for spills or claims, unless someone has any questions on those.
Thanks, Melissa. Any questions on any of the items that were brought up or the updates?
I did have one more item I'd like to talk about, if you don't mind, Steve. Ellsworth Creamery, which actually did have a spill. I think we've mentioned it before. They are becoming a planning facility for us. And Kristen and myself have been working on getting that plan prepared and working with the individual at the Ellsworth Creamery. There's still several things that need to be completed before we'll have a plan for you guys to review and take a look at. It's been, a large cooperation with them back and forth to make sure that we're getting it correct. But I just want to let you know that we are closing in on it, and we're getting there, and we hope to have it done right after the first of the year. So definitely we'll be asking for you guys to take a look at that plan and help us with anything that you guys might see on that. Does anybody have any questions on the work or anything, or anything about the new offsite plan that we would have coming on board, which again is the Ellsworth Creamery?
Does anything stand out, Melissa, in terms of hazardous chemicals to you?
I don't want to comment just yet, because there's one that we can't, we need to determine if it's really at the level we think it is. So I hate to say anything, because if the levels that were given to us are wrong, it will not be an issue and it will not be part of our plan. So there is some, like I said, some back and forth communication things that we're working on. So if that chemical is, falls below the levels that we need to record, it'll be a standard plan that really won't have any major issues. So.
Okay, well, thank you for your efforts on that and your time.
Yeah. One other thing that we did want to just talk about, it's real brief, is in the emergency management office, we have, a plan of work that we work off from every year, kind of driven by what the state gives us for guidelines. And they are changing that a little bit in 2023. We're moving to something more community-based. And we may be reaching out to this group of, this group for some help. And really what it is judging with our community where we need the most help, where we need to plan better, things we need to improve, be it training, be it preparedness, be it whatever the community feels are our needs. And so we have been working on a survey in our office that we're going to be sending out to most of the county departments, and just starting there, that's going to be kind of our first phase. This is going to be a multi-year project, but just the first phase, just to see, are the county departments prepared to help our community? What can we do to improve those things? So not really sure where it all is going to end up as far as, guidelines and things like that, but just wanted to make you aware of that's kind of a project we are working on. And like I said, the survey right now is looking like it's going to go out to just our departments, and then we're going to move on from there, move on to other organizations that we deal with that are in our community, stepping stones, churches, things like that, that help that help our community and how can we better be prepared to help our community. And that plan it's called, of course, IPP, we love acronyms. And it's an integrated preparedness plan. Like I said, it's going to be a multi-year thing. We're going to start with a survey, then there's going to be a workshop. And every year it's going to expand and could change and could actually change based on the needs of our community. So just wanted to put that out there, and there'll be more information to follow on that.
Great,
Okay.
thank you, Melissa.
Yeah.
So would there be mostly like looking for resources, training, that type of thing, or?
Yep. All of the above. Yep.
Okay, well, great. Thank you very much. So if people have questions, should they just contact you?
Sure. They can contact myself or Kristen, either one.
Okay. And
Thank
can see
you.
Melissa's contact. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Any questions for Melissa? All right, we'll move on to the next item, which is the LEPC membership update. So can Kristen or Melissa, you provide that to us, please?
Kristen, can you go ahead and do that?
Sure. So effective right now, I think really the only new update as far as membership goes is going to be Matt Poliak, as he is new to his position. So as far as I know, it is just Matt.
And everyone else would stay the same if they continue, correct, for their position?
Correct. Yeah, and so it's any notifications that I've received, I think it is just Matt. So.
All right. Well, welcome, Matt. No double entendre there. It's good to see you. So hopefully you can continue to join us. Questions on the membership update? If not, we can look at the next item, which is setting the next meeting. And we'll open that up for discussion because we've had either traditionally quarterly meetings and now we've gone to semi-annual meetings. So I just want to throw that out in terms of what does the committee feel, first of all, for the next meeting? So something like a March, or do we just continue to go towards a June? And then if we do we continue virtually, or would someone like to host the meeting? Because we've done that in the past. Just wanted to see what the general feeling is from the team.
So Steve, this is Kristen, and
Right.
we have actually had somebody who did communicate with our office that they would be interested in hosting in person. And we had sort of discussed either it would have been this meeting or the next meeting. Turns out it's probably a good idea that we didn't try our first in-person meeting today. So there has been interest in that. And I am not sure if that person wants to speak about that now, or if that person wants to discuss it, maybe not in the group. Either
Yeah,
way.
this is Matthew Crow with Cardinal. I reached out to Kristen and said we'd be willing to host here and do a brief tour of the Cardinal facility. It is a fairly large facility, but do the brief tour and host the meeting here. We have a large training room that can, facilitate the meeting and hold everybody comfortably. So that wouldn't be a problem to do it here. And just my point of view, I think the semi-annual meetings, is enough, and maybe the quarterly meetings would be almost, too much and be talking about the same things, from the previous meeting. So semi-annual would kind of be my vote.
Twice a year with special meetings if needed.
Okay, and part of it, thank you, Matthew. I appreciate your willingness to host a meeting. Part of what determines the frequency of the meetings, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kristen or Melissa, would be the number of reports, the updates, how many we have, do we have any new reports? So instead of, for example, going over 10 at once, we would parcel them out 5 each, that type of thing. And that's going to be based on what Kristen and Melissa are doing in the subcommittees. So that's going to drive some of this. And Kristen, what's your feeling? Can we go until next June? Is that Gonna work out on your end?
Yep, so another little point of interest is for those of you who have been part of LEPC for a while, realize that we don't have any offsite updates on our agenda, which is not typical.
Correct.
And there is a specific reason for that. It was decided at, I'm not sure if it was a federal or a state level, that our grant periods are going to shift. And basically our grant period for 2022 was extended through the end of the year. So our grant periods typically would go from October 1st through September 30th. And that has now changed. They are now going to just follow a calendar year. So January 1st through December 31st. So to accommodate that, the 2022 grant period really went from October 1st of 2021 through December 31st of 2022.
Okay.
So it's basically, it's 15 months as opposed to 12 months. It's kind of confusing, but, and so basically what we have decided to do is just, we usually do about half of our offsites in the spring and about half in the fall. So based on these changes, we just sort of shifting everything about 3 months. So we are going to start our next review of offsites in January. And then probably do the next round more like in the summer. So that's why that is happening, in case some of you are wondering why that is. So that is why that is happening. And as far as any sort of requirements, we are only required to have one LEPC meeting a year. That is currently the EPRA requirement. I personally feel that having at least 2 every year, I think works well. You know, then we can discuss anything that we need to discuss, you know, keep everybody updated if there's changes. You know, sort of going forward with our IPP process, that is going to be, as Melissa said, you know, we might be calling upon LEPC committee members to have a voice, maybe to fill out a survey, you know, do just various different things. And if nothing else, to keep you updated about our IPP process and how that is going to affect how emergency management runs. The IPP process shouldn't overly affect sort of our offsites or how we review them or our EPRA planning. Will for the most part stay the same. It might be a little bit enhanced by our IPP, but just as far as maybe keeping everybody up to date and sort of knowing what's going on. So.
All right, thank you for explaining that, Kristen. So that would work, Kristen, if we then extend out until June?
Yeah, that would be our normal meeting. So I think that that would be appropriate. That would be our normal time frame.
Sounds good. Thanks, Melissa. So looking at the calendar, the 3rd Thursday of June would be June 15th. And Matthew, would that work for you to host us? And thank you for doing that.
Yeah, looking at the calendar, I think June 15 would work out well for us here.
So if we meet at Cardinal Glass and then we would have the meeting 9 o'clock. Once the meeting was over, we would do the tour. Would that work for you?
That'll work, yes.
Great. And Cardinal Glass does an amazing job, not only with health and safety, but also with emergency preparedness. So anyone that's been there, like I have, had the opportunity to do an exceptional job. So I really appreciate everything you do and also for the community.
Thank you.
All right, so then the next, yeah, great. And then we could look at maybe next one in December 2023, as long as there's not a snowstorm. But summer is generally going to be probably a little bit better. So if you want to mark your calendars for Thursday, June 15th at 9 o'clock at Cardinal Glass. And we'll provide that update in terms of if you don't know how to get there and so forth. And then if you wish to stay, there'd be a tour walking through. And after that, you'll leave. Or if you just wish to attend the meeting, then you could go after that. Sound good, everybody? Any other comments or items that you'd like to bring up from anybody? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Denny. And is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Second.
Oh, thank you, Dustin. All right, all those in favor, raise your hand. How's that? Or give a thumbs up. That's great. Thank you. Just trying to get a little motion going here. All right, the motion carries. Please have a safe holiday and a safe winter as we transition, hopefully at some point, into spring. So have a great holiday season, everybody. Thank you for your efforts. Everybody who's attending, Melissa, Kristen, Krista, everyone from LEPC, from the county, and be safe. Hope everything goes okay for everybody, and we'll look forward to being in contact with you through updates. If you have questions, feel free to ask any of us. And next time we'll see you will be, if not sooner, than in June.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Have a good rest of
Thank
your
you.
year.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.